We are responding to the man in Aso Rock on the 28th of December 2019. This day, he came out to appeal to Nigerians not to allow terrorists to divide them.
Hello, I'm Olumide Macaulay. Here's your Channels Television morning news update for December the 28th, 2019. President Muhammadu Buhari has appealed to Nigerians not to let terrorists divide the country along religious lines following the execution of some Christians and Muslims by the Islamic State West Africa province.
The question now is, are you talking about this terrorist?
Challenge that you're going to face. I wonder if you would tell us how you intend to approach it with particular reference to the amnesty, bunkering, and inclusive development. Thank you.
I hope you have a copy of the election results. Naturally, constituencies, for example, that gave me 97%, cannot, in all honesty, be treated on some issues with constituencies that gave me 5%.
And yes, 97 to 5%. The terrorists divided Nigeria into 97 to 5%. I don't know which of the terrorists you mean, or are you talking about this terrorist?
An ex-Boko Haram stands having laid his arms and comes back, turns his way away from his negativity. He stands to be a president of this country. He stands to aspire to any position in this country.
Is it the same terrorist that, according to the other terrorists that just spoke on camera, that they are going to become the president and replace you when they lay down their arm, when they lay down their arms? Or is it the terrorist that this policeman is talking about?
The Nigerian police force in Abia would treat any person associated with IPOL as a terrorist.
And yes, they are going to treat anybody who associates with the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, like a terrorist. If you associate with any Biafrans, you are going to be tagged and treated like a terrorist. Now, this is how they treat the terrorists.
They started shooting us, killing our brothers. Over 10 of them were lying dead there.
The army is trained to kill and not to police processions or protests or demonstration. They are trained to eliminate whoever they see as the enemy.
See young men, young boys, 18 years, 15 years, being wasted like that just because of what you don't know.
The day began with a gathering of people who want to create an independent country in the southeast of Nigeria, what was once known as Biafra. Pro-Biafra members and supporters had come to pray for the release from prison of one of their leaders.
We have seen an increased number of disgruntled young men and women in southeastern Nigeria joining processions, joining gatherings to demand for an independent Biafra state. Because the people in that part of the country have always felt marginalized, they've always felt segregated against, they've always feel left out in the share of the Nigerian national.
Yes, and that was a comment from one of the commentators. Army are trained to kill. They don't train for anything other than to kill. So this you just watch now is the 5% the previous terrorist was referring to. This is how they treated them, the terrorists. Now, look at the terrorists who are the main terrorists who have murdered thousands and thousands of Nigerians, who have killed military men, who have murdered, who have rendered so many family homeless, who have taken over entire Northeast. This is how they treat those terrorists, confirming the 97 to 5%. Now watch.
To an end. The Emir of Fika, government representatives, and a judge of the Federal High Court joins the ex-insurgents who swear to an oath of allegiance before a justice panel before their graduation.
Undertake to use the training as received judiciously.
During their stay at the camp, they undertook vocational training.
And yes, they took oath of allegiance to be recruited into the Nigeria military. It was this oath of allegiance for having a vocational training? The answer is no. Was it because they denounced Boko Haram membership? The answer is no. The answer is because they are being recruited into the Nigeria army, and you can see government officials embracing the ceremony on that day. So the president should be very specific. Which of the terrorists is he talking about? Is he talking about himself, that we shouldn't allow him to divide in Nigeria? Or is he talking about the Boko Haram terrorists who are now being recruited into the Nigerian military? Or is he talking about Biafra agitators? He should make it very clear so that we know exactly which of the terrorists is he referring to. Is he referring to Boko Haram, or is he referring to Biafrans, or is he referring to himself, or is he referring to those in the Nigeria army? Now you can see the result of the 97 to 5%. These Biafra agitators you see being killed, being murdered in cold blood. They murdered hundreds and hundreds of them in cold blood. And that case is still pending. We are going to fight for justice till the end. Even after getting Biafra, we will fight for justice. And now, is he talking about the Boko Haram, the terrorists that are already being recruited into the Nigeria military, and they are now being used to come to Biafra land and commit this crime that you see on that video, as the hip-hop and the Biafra agitators are being killed, shot without even them having any weapon. So, which of the terrorists is this man in Aso Rock talking about? Asking Nigeria not to allow them to divide Nigeria. Is a question that we are directing to that man in Aso Rock to make very specific which of these terrorists that was highlighted or that I have highlighted in this video is he talking about.